Now, I heard a thing about Michelangelo, that apparently he died a virgin, and he didn't really know what female anatomy was like.
That's not true.
Why all of his paintings just depict women as muscular men.
No. Michelangelo was the original Araki. You know, that time, the creator of JoJo, that interview where he's asked, why don't you draw women? And he goes like, but it's about the men. How's it going, people? Jack here with another video, and look, it's been a while since we checked on some stuff that were not gaming related, so for the sake of a throwback Thursday, we'll be checking out the internet historian on his Incognito Mode channel on his video on art. Please do make sure to go and like and or subscribe to the original channel, and without further ado, let us jump into it.
Art. Art. What is art? Is it wearing a beret? Is it using big words to seem deep?
Avant-garde.
Is this goose art? More importantly, when is art? And when is dinner? And where are my pants? And where am I? And have you seen my mum? I'm lost and confused. Please help
Where
me.
art thou?
All of these questions and more on the next episode of In the Quarantine.
Oh yeah,
Listen,
this was me
Sumito,
2 years ago.
Philistine, you uncultured swine. I need to show you some art.
Sure.
I don't know any art. Do you know any art?
Fuck.
Salvador
So you've got a
Dalí,
self-painting on the wall,
Picasso.
right? A self-portrait on the wall. You've done it sort of abstract. You're standing next to it in a raincoat and a plague doctor's mask, so they don't know that you're the artist, right? And the richest, most famous art buyer walks in, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, "This is a magnificent chimpanzee. This is the most beautiful chimpanzee I've ever seen." And you're just standing there like, yeah, it's a chimpanzee. It's
That's how
the
it
best
works.
fucking chimpanzee I've ever. Yeah, totally innocuous chimpanzee. And then he buys it. $50 million. He buys your chimpanzee, and now that you got to live with that now. You can't admit it's you, right? The whole value is tied into the fact that he thinks it's an ape.
It's true though, it's always been like that. I think that for the very moment that an individual was able to own a piece of art, its intrinsic value was given to it through the feelings that said piece of art did convey, and the one that the owner attributed to the art. So yeah, if you feel like that thing is a monkey or whatever it is, that's on you. Oh, Mexico.
So watch this. I reckon I can turn this from like a $60 million painting to like
$10 million.
a $300 million. Oh no, she's such a frump too.
But isn't the unibrow like a mark of status in Latin America? Like only the royal families are allowed to have unibrows, and like only really powerful women are allowed to have mustaches because it's like a show of military prowess.
Yeah, for sure.
You're turning her into a commoner is what you're doing. I mean, honestly, doesn't look like you did much.
No, these are only minor touches. It's got thorns around her neck and a dead bird. All right, we're fixing this. We can cover some of the neck thorns with an airplane pillow. Oh, I don't know. What do they wear around the neck in tropical climates?
Ropes, typically.
Dude, that's
Jesus Christ.
way better.
Yeah.
Look at that. Realism.
It's pretty damn good. Oh man, this is really coming together. Can you also put the chimpanzee in a little employee vest?
Yeah.
He's kind of got that stern look on his face.
In modern
They're paying
Calo.
me just enough for me to not be on my phone, but not enough for me to tell you to stop smashing milk jugs for your TikTok.
You do realize the reason why she looks so sad, right? I'm not going to linger on it too much, but Frida Kahlo did suffer an incredibly hurtful accident when she was younger, like a bus accident that left her bedridden for many years. And through that time is when she got into her arts, painting, nature, and the things that she observed. But at some point she started doing those self-portraits that are very characteristic of her. But unlike how many people will do like the typical like ultra-realist self-portraits, she would like convey the thing that she saw and her emotions of them on herself. So like, for example, by the time that she got, I think that she died at the age of 45 or something like that. Maybe a bit older than that, but not too old. But at that point, she had been through a sort of form of revolution where she and her husband were very much politically engaged. But because of all the pain that she was suffering and all the multiple operations that she had to undergo, she made this very characteristic painting of her like receiving a lot of food to herself and the agony that it gave her. Like in the painting itself, there's like a Dies del Muertos, I think the Day of the Dead skull in there, symbolizing, of course, that she didn't feel like she had much more to live. But a lot of it is very morbid, but in the same time kind of hopeful. So yeah, she is quite the character.
You take Van
Gogh.
Gogh,
Right.
you hit him with the depression. Dude's as sick as he is, but he's got a YouTube channel. Think about what the fuck that would be like.
Yeah.
And we just get this beautiful expressionist. What is this Drakkar Noir vlog that Vincent Van Gogh has uploaded?
Look at the motion graphics. Look at the way.
Why would he use Comic Sans with no outline? It speaks to his pain.
That's brilliant. He's using a mix of horizontal and vertical to express.
People are watching it in film schools like 10 years from now.
I heard this really interesting anecdote about drinking in Russia. So apparently they have this thing where if you want another drink, you tap the back of your shoulder. And apparently, I don't know how widespread this is, or even how true it is. But you tap the back of your shoulder.
Right.
And the reason why is because a couple hundred years ago, back in Russia, they were at war with someone else. And this other nation had a fleet of ships, and they were quite a powerful navy. And so Russia had to also build a navy very quickly to compete with them.
Yeah.
And so they commissioned some work from this guy who was supposed to be a very good sort of nautical engineer and shipbuilder. They have to build this navy, and they succeed, and it's all thanks to this one dude who had all the knowledge. He had all the knowledge in his brain.
Right.
So the Tsar, I suppose at the time, said to him, boatman, I will give you anything you wish. Name a favor of me. You know what I want to do? Because he was a total drunk.
Yeah.
And he said, I want to be able to drink in any pub, tavern, bar in Russia for free.
Right.
Wow.
And so the Tsar said, yeah, all right.
A regular letter of recommendation.
He wrote him this decree that said this guy can drink for free as much as he wants. He used to go around to all these bars and stuff, and he would get wicked drunk off everyone else's dime.
Right.
But one time he lost the piece of paper, as you do.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. So he has to sort of sheepishly go back to the Tsar, and he goes, hey, can you write me another one of these fucking notes to get out of gym and get free drinks? And the guy goes, oh
boy.
all right. Just, keep in mind I'm a busy man. So he writes him another decree, and he goes out and he gets fucking wicked drunk.
No
again.
way, and he loses it.
And he loses the next one. He's like, well, I'm certainly not going to pay for drinks. I'm just going to bother the Tsar again.
Wait, I like how isn't the ice? Oh my god, that restaurant or whatever it's called. It's a hotel as well, but isn't that in Finland?
Few moments.
Yeah. The Arctic snow hotels from Finland. Well, okay, there are a multitude of them, so I can't be sure which one is the right one. But, anyways,
So he pops back to the Tsar, and he goes, you'll never believe what happened. And the guy goes, for God's sake. He goes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get it tattooed on the back of your shoulder. From then on, he would just go around to bars, and he would show his bare shoulder and tap on it and go,
Right.
that's the word of the Tsar, I can drink for free. What the fuck? And so ever since then, it became like a thing. You tap the back of your shoulder saying, another drink, please.
That is interesting.
Yeah, I thought so.
I hope
true?
that's true.
I do too. After the recording, I looked into
wasn't,
it.
okay.
And it was not.
he was a nautical engineer. It was not about a navy. The thing built was actually a church spire. After completing the work, he was paid handsomely in cash. Peter the Great. Okay. Obviously, Peter the Great was the one who sorted out the whole naval business, and that was about capturing ports. His was branded, not tattooed. Tattoos are not common in Russia in those days. He may have lost the letter many more times. The side of his neck was branded, not the back of his shoulder. The branding wouldn't have said anything like drink, drink it for free. it would have just been the Tsar's seal. Okay. He died 3 years later of drinking himself to death. Nice.
So look at this face, then look at this dude.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Identical.
Get a load of this fucking guy with the knife.
It's a lady, surely.
With the knife?
Yeah, look, that's her arm, isn't it?
Is it not the dude whose other hand seems to be on her neck?
Yeah.
He's sort of doing like a weird
I think
pigeon
so.
arm holding it backwards? Nah, that doesn't make any sense.
No, I think he's kind of curved around and he's holding
Yeah, the whole
his hand
thing
on her
is
shoulder,
weird.
and then that's his sleeve there.
Oh my
So
God,
that goes
dude.
to holding her hand, and she's got the knife.
Now we're getting sucked into the controversy. Who truly stabbed this guy? Let's analyze this picture some more.
You know what's always sort of struck me about Mona Lisa is
Tits.
well,
Of course.
kinda, yeah. They're not terribly proportional. The cleavage feels like it's in the wrong place.
Yeah, but
her
that was
boob
never the point.
Is way smaller than the left side of her chest.
Well, at least we know that they're real. So obviously you don't get imperfections with surgery.
Obviously, the guy didn't know anything about proportionality.
Or women.
She's got no
Right.
eyebrows.
Yep.
It's just like, why is this the most famous painting?
Something about her facial expression. She's smiling but not smiling, and therefore beauty.
You wouldn't.
If I'm not mistaken, this has something to do with the deterioration of the painting. We visited a Da Vinci expose in the city of Milan, like in 2017, I want to say. But there we got like a few explanation on his things and also the other inventions that he made. The guy was nuts.
I wouldn't call her beautiful.
I wouldn't. This was his ex. They broke up, but she still held on to one of those coupons from their anniversary where it was like, I will paint you beautifully. And she was like, I don't care if we broke up. I want to utilize my coupon. And he was like, fine, but I'm going to fuck up the shading and make your tits look weird.
Yeah, I'm going to draw you with sriracha sauce all over your sticky fingers.
Did I tell you my idea to be the curator to a exclusively meme-hosted art museum?
Oh, I like that.
It clips in, I'm in like a little tuxedo, and I'm like, welcome, thank you for joining us. Today we're taking a look at Halloween Pepe. Just talk about the history of Pepe the Frog and what...
Sumito unironically pitched NFT presentations. That's the shit that Beeple is doing. He's mainly the guy who made all those crypto folks to jump into the NFT business.
led us to Pepe and a fucking pumpkin head. If we were really good YouTubers,
You
what we
are.
would do is make a Facebook profile for her, in turn making a Tinder profile, and see how many right swipes we get by the end of this session. just ignore a girl holding a dog. Yeah. Put it in a group picture. I'm the one in the left.
We'd need so many fucking face filters to make that look real.
Nah, we just throw some fucking dog ears on it. Boom. Look like everyone else. Be a 9 out of 10 instantly.
Oh,
I feel
wow.
like this one's less detailed, but I like it more.
Yeah, I do like this one a lot more. There's more to look at.
Birth of Venus. Venus. Venus was blood from the tip of Zeus's penis.
Is that what it was?
Blood of Zeus's penis. Here it is. The blood from his severed genitals fertilized the earth, and from that spot grew an almond tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
With
No.
Aphrodite. So
Oh my god. I mean, naturally, I do not expect everybody to know the etymology of the word Venus. And, I mean, she's obviously the Greek Romanization of the Greek goddess Aphrodite. But the meaning of the word is, of course, from the word Venus, which means desire. So, the goddess of desire, Venus. Also, this is a nice thing, sometimes knowing the origin of words, that makes things very much comprehensible. In, for example, if you are a deist or theist, God believer, and you don't believe in science, or, for example, that there are more planets out there, they do exist, okay? These people exist. But I'm sorry, I actually shouldn't laugh, that's very mean. But the word planet, for example, stems from the Greek word planetes, which means wanderer, because as they were observing these planets in comparison to the other stars, they showed that they were wandering, they were moving around. So yeah, just a little side note there.
I'm completely... fuck. I thought I knew something for once. You know, the ancient Greeks had 400 vending machines per person. That's a fact.
You sure you're not talking about fridges?
Nah, he says with absolute confidence. You'd think they'd sneak a Waldo in at some point or something just to keep it interesting. If you're meant to look at it for this long.
Oh my God.
We'll hide that in there for you.
How nice would it be? You zoom in and you're like, oh, look at all these flowers. And then one of them's like a Steam code for Cyberpunk. And it's like, oh, hell yeah. Look at that. It all paid off. I swear I could be a better artist than these Greek idiots. They don't know what the fuck they were doing.
That's way better.
You're only saying that because she's goth in this one. I'm not disagreeing with you, but like... That's all. It's just like, you know what would be better than the Mona fucking Lisa? The Mona Lisa with some eyeliner. Maybe some scrunchies on her arms. That's it.
Go for
Wait,
Lisa.
the background's completely different in that one. It's not just like a darkened... Oh, God. Fernando Vittorio. All right, so better or worse? What do you think? The cleavage is in the right spot.
Second.
Moments later.
I should have just started to record a video while wearing this shirt. I mean, it's not every day that you get to pull a pro gamer move.
Never mind, we've taken a step back now. That one I actually think could be kind of artsy. I mean, the less you paint, the more you're painting. You know what I mean?
That's kind of good.
Right.
I'm not mad with that. A lot of it's just about having some fucking color in the room.
Yeah, for sure.
And that does it. You could just put like a vase or something in front of that and you wouldn't have to worry about the little dude, and then it'd just be like a nice... That'd work.
It looks like the movie poster for James and the Giant Peach.
Although, I will say, I don't think a lot of these are that bad. That's fine. That looks like any modern piece today.
People of all colors are welcome.
Okay, I could see that this wouldn't be in a museum, but this... Absolutely, I could
Blue
see
lady
in a
with
museum
iPod.
and people saying it's, look, blue lady with iPod. Oh, this says a lot about our modern society. I've always thought the screen looked like shit.
I mean, now that I'm looking at it for more than like 5 seconds, it is...
It's iconic, but is it good? Well, here's what
It
I'm
is.
thinking.
I like it already. It's like a Green Day concert.
So, Edward Munch, or Edvard Munch, is one amongst the many contemporaries that we got to learn a bit about in high school. I remember we had like a course. It was like a mixture of both like social studies, but also history and technology. It was like a weird thing that we could choose as an elective. But anyways, during that time, we got to cover from the Industrial Revolution all the way up until the end of the Second World War, where it was the end of the naturalism and all those phases that these artists had to go through, especially like in here Northern Europe. Till then in Norway, we have the likes of Edvard Munch, and he was described as not being normal. So the painting was finished in 93, I believe? Yeah, by the end of the century at least, where 1893. Just to make it clear, while he was gazing at the blood-red sky of the northern fjord, and he felt some feeling of like a deep anxiety and wanted to convey this endless scream. And the thing about this is that at the edge of the painting, it is written that this can only be painted by a madman. And there was this guy called Johann Schaffenberger, who ended up being a psychiatrist, I believe, who commented that... I think it came in a newspaper, if my recollection is good, that he was very concerned with his mental state. And that was for sure, because he was feeling a lot of depression, and that was literally a thing that was going on in that day and age. But of the years later, he even made like a self-portrait of himself smoking a cigarette, which was supposed to be like a transition of the less bourgeois times, because not everybody had access to cigarettes at the time, you know? Only the rich folks would smoke cigars and or pipes. So things that were becoming the norm, people's own way of dealing with depression, stuff like that. But of course, the art itself is very freaky. It was unlike the thing that he was usually doing. It's like, for example, introducing your child to art by taking them at a museum. And instead of like showing them the all type of work that Picasso would do, like the science and charity painting that was very well detailed and all that, showing the human condition, instead show them Picasso's blue period, you know? Fucking depressing.
Why are all artists so fucked up? There he is.
Yes.
Saturn devouring his son. Francisco Goya. There you go. That crazy motherfucker.
Is that supposed to be his arm? How come his arm is so thick?
I mean, it's
compared
true to the
and like
mythology.
The shoulders would end about here, but his body just keeps going up.
The dude locking eye contact with you is also a big part of this. He's not focusing on the food. He's just right into your soul.
Is he wearing pants?
He's got like horse legs, I think, is what goat legs, I think is what it's supposed to be.
Why doesn't he have goat legs? Maybe he's got goat top. Maybe that explains the.
Yeah, he started from the broken end. I don't know. Everything about this painting, they really match the awkward angle at which the shoulder leaves the body.
We found him. We got him, boys.
That painting was literally painted in a manic state, right? And then kept in his mansion and never shown to anybody.
Oh, really?
So when the dude was going insane at the end of his life and just painting and whatever, like they discovered him dead at his place, and that was never supposed to be seen by anybody.
It's like the H.P. Lovecraft
He painted that
story,
because
right?
it came out of him, and he kept it in the house, hoping nobody would see it, with no intention of showing anybody.
Do you reckon that's then the direct inspiration for what's that H.P. Lovecraft story?
H.P. Lovecraft, Pickman's Model.
Pickman's Model.
Pickman's Model.
Yeah.
Thanks.
This dude's one of my favorites because he was a legitimate psychopath.
Really?
Okay. Salvador Dalí. He was the modern age archer. He was hanging out with the odd crowd and had an ocelot. How cool is that?
He played the character, I guess is what I'm trying to say. He hung out in cabaret bars. He had friends that were dwarves. You know, shit like that you wouldn't do back then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sort of eccentric.
Like, let me go get inspired for the next fucking clock I'm about to melt. He would have been an excellent fucking Twitter shit poster, man. If he didn't die in the fucking 80s or whatever, he'd be an interesting fucking dude to follow on Twitter, I swear. He bought a castle, age 76, lived a long life. He was exhumed. 2017, it was announced that a judge in Madrid had ordered the exhumation of Dali's body in order to obtain samples for a paternity suit. This
Oh my god, they gave him the treatment of the guy from the whole video. Oh no. Did they just yank his body and just flung it into a lake?
This happened.
Can you imagine how fucking nerve-wracking that must have been? Like, you finally convince the judge, okay, we're gonna dig up the body. They go in, they dig up the body, and then...
They take that truck over to Maury, and now you're on stage in front of the entire audience. You are not the father. The crowd goes wild.
And then
You're screaming.
Salvador Dalí gets out of the coffin and he's just dancing around.
Break dancing, yeah. You're running into the back hallways to God knows where. It's a maze back there. He had a pet ocelot named Babu.
Yep.
Like, people do that now
Yep.
when you're like rich.
Yeah.
But those fuckers bite.
This is interesting.
What's going on?
With his ever-present long cape. Okay, so he used to walk around with a long cape and a walking stick.
I told you, man.
And a haughty expression on his face.
I told you, man. I love this guy.
He gave actress Mia Farrow a dead mouse in a bottle, hand-painted, which her
Wait, I
mother,
didn't know
actress
this.
Marina O'Sullivan, demanded to be removed from her house.
Jesus Christ. And years later, we have goddamn Jared Leto's looking at that and going, it's mobbing time.
I'm telling you, man. This dude, Dalí, was a motherfucker.
He was also known to avoid paying tabs at restaurants.
I think a couple people did this.
By drawing on the check.
Yeah, he would, instead of paying, he would do a piece of art on the check. He would do a little scribble, and then the restaurant would be like, oh, great. And they always say something about, like, the restaurant not wanting to, like, cash it in.
Dalí appeared in public on a number of occasions with an anteater, notably on the lead in Paris in 1969. And on the Dick Cavett show. On the show, he surprised fellow guest Lillian Gish by flinging an anteater into her lap. There's a crater on Mercury named after
The
him.
Dalí crater. Interesting.
What's this guy eating?
What?
Wow.
What's he eating?
My
he's eating
spaghetti.
noodles.
My cousin Vinny eating fresh pasta.
Yo, doesn't he have like a striking resemblance to Samwise? Am I the only one who sees this?
Me eating fresh pasta.
Hey, what's the matter? Yeah, I quite like that. I like the way he's done the color on that. Dude, I like this stuff where people are just eating soup, eating noodles.
Look at that whole artichoke.
That
Wow.
looks way better to me than the Mona Lisa.
No, I mean, it 100%. I mean, first of all, the artichoke doesn't look like it belongs in this picture. It's light years ahead.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's crazy. Look at the way the fucking hat's done. Do you know how hard it is to draw a fucking hat? Have you ever tried drawing a hat?
I can't do stick figures. This is the grandpa who, like, ate an entire can of paint thinking it was yogurt.
Oh, fuck, did he die?
No, he was fine.
Oh.
But they took this picture of him like, yeah, no, that
that's so
seems like the
sad.
guy who'd accidentally eat a can of paint thinking it was yogurt.
That is genuinely scarier to me than the one of the dude eating the other dude. Imagine if you had this at like framed on the wall at the end of a fucking hallway, and you were walking over to the kitchen to get something late at night.
Scary.
That would freak me the fuck out. That painting right there. Apparently the reason that you don't taxidermy your pets is because it's really hard to get it looking like your pet again. They have to, it's essentially a skin on a mount, right?
Yeah.
So to get the face looking right with all of the exact nuances of the bone structure
Kill me again,
and
please.
the way that things sit is practically impossible.
Oh.
And so it doesn't end up looking like your cat.
Who? Oh no. Who the fuck decided to taxidermy a bunny into a goddamn toaster?
Cat or your dog by the end of it.
I mean, that can't make you feel better about the situation, right?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Oh.
Look over and be like, oh, yeah, they used to stand there facing the wall like that. I miss them so much. Like, no, it's going to be awkward.
Now, I heard a thing about Michelangelo, that apparently he died a virgin, and he didn't really know what female anatomy was like.
That's
And
not
that's
true.
why all of his paintings just depict women as muscular men.
No. Michelangelo was the original Araki. You know, that time, the creator of JoJo, that interview where he's asked, why don't you draw women? And he goes like, but it's about the men.
With tits on top. Yeah, it's basically just a dude and then tits on top.
He just really does not do a good job with the tits. God damn, it's like a chameleon looking at you, dude.
Maybe all those women were
He
just
doesn't know what they look like.
freaking muscular.
I don't know how to spell Angelo.
They'll know who you're talking about. Nobody's got that many fucking letters in their name anymore. Can you imagine that? You meet somebody at fucking VidCon and it's like, oh, hey, I'm the internet historian. It's like, oh, hey, I'm Mike. And you're like, is that short for Michael? Michelangelo, yeah.
The name's David. Oh, nice to meet you. Full name Michelangelo's.
My mom was weird.
Why couldn't Michelangelo paint women?
There you go. Men.
Breasts.
Look at this. Look at this fucking sculpture.
God damn, dude.
Oh, hold on. Because of the stringent controls
both
over
right and
female
wrong.
modesty, the idea goes it was inappropriate for women to get undressed in front of men. If Michelangelo then knew what women's bodies were like and was clearly able to draw them, we have to assume that the appearance of his women were deliberately chosen
Yeah.
rather than through ignorance.
I don't.
Because he
I
knew
feel like
of
that's
the
an insulting take to try and
anatomy.
go
I mean,
with.
he knew.
Yeah.
No way my man went with that and went, yep, that's a good use of marble.
What direction is he going? It seems to me like he's going in this direction.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah.
So although they're not touching now, they're definitely going to touch.
Yeah, or he's like hovering in place.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Maybe they're teasing it. It's like, do you want to be alive? Should I take one of your ribs? I don't know where in the story this is.
He's a cherubim that can't carry his fat ass.
Have you seen God's fucking finger?
Yeah.
Once his finger touches you, you know, you get the knowledge of God. And so he's about to be like, oh my God, I'm naked and all the stuff in the Garden of Eve. But he's already touched this one.
Yeah.
And he's seen some shit. Look at his face.
The prophecy is true.
Yeah. He's not interested at all in what Adam's doing. The kid behind him needs to stop holding his fucking breath as well. You're going to hurt yourself, my guy. Wait, there's
Freaking
so
dying.
many more people than I initially thought. Holy fuck.
It's like he did the lines and then it never went back and painted over them.
The kids up at the top over God's shoulder also just lacking in detail. One of them's just had like the life force sucked out of him. Oh, Michelangelo did the fucking Sistine Chapel, right?
This
Yeah,
is
that's what
the
this is.
60s
Oh, really?
chapel.
Yeah, I thought this was on the roof, on the ceiling.
Yeah.
God, there's so much stuff.
Ugh, it's like a Where's Wally This guy just on the toilet.
Yeah, it really kind of looks like he started running out of ideas near the end. Fuck it. I don't know. They're playing golf. You see Alvin and the Chipmunks on their own little cloud over on the left side?
This one's got a bag of skin.
Wait, what the fuck is happening?
I think he's skinned someone.
It's kind of fucked up.
Fucking buff Jesus? That must be buff Jesus.
Jesus
Jesus
was the
was
swollest of the gods.
CrossFit.
Yeah, that's why he was the chosen one.
Yeah, exactly. God, holy shit, man. How much did this dude get paid for this? Or do churches pay you?
Yeah, the
Handsomely.
church commissioned him to do this.
That's got to be the gig of a lifetime. It's a lot of goddamn work. Medusa seems to be a muse for basically every artist ever.
Well, the thing that strikes me about this is supposed to be Medusa's reflection, isn't it?
Oh, in a mirror, you mean?
Yeah, like, well, that's the story. So
Perseus is,
Hercules, isn't it? No, it's
mirror.
not Hercules. Perseus, that's it, right. So Perseus walks into the cave, and he knows that if he sees her, he'll be literally petrified and turn into stone.
Yeah, I want the B-roll to this to just be God of War footage, by the way.
So he's backing into the cave, essentially, and he's having to look through this shiny piece of gold metal, because they don't have the technology for proper mirrors back then. And then he does like a 360 sword move, and he cuts off her head. What I imagine this scene is it's the first time she ever sees herself in the mirror.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bark in your hair. Get it.
Sorry, I got the virus. I gotta go, Sumito. Also, I'm going into a tunnel. Goodbye. I learned a lot about art today.
Classic.
The main channel video is coming.
Yeah, folks, that was a crap ton on art. Excuse me for rambling a little bit, but art is also one of the many topics that I very much hold dear. Like, it's just very interesting where the human mind can go and how creative we get with certain stuff. But that said though, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. As always, please do go and subscribe to the Internet Historian and the Incognito Mode channel and SumitoMedia's channel as well. Links will be in the description below. And of course, if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe if you want to see some more. That said though, wish you all to have a wonderful day. See you guys in the next one. Bye.